Hello and welcome to another 7 Afternoon. I'm John Moore, and today we are pleased to have Dave Forsythe, Chairman of the St. Lawrence County Board of Legislators. Thanks for coming down, Dave.
Thank you for having me, John. Nice to be here.
Yeah. Now, we were going to do this a couple of weeks ago, but the weather was a little bit less than cooperative, so.
To say the least. Yes, it was.
It's
to
nice
say
that
the least.
Nice that it's come around, so
Yeah.
much better for
Yeah.
traveling.
I can see the pavement on my driveway as of yesterday. So it's officially coming.
That's a good
Yeah.
feeling. Sign of spring, right?
Yeah, it's coming.
So you are now in your fourth term as chairman of the county legislature, and you were elected without even any opposition, right? Nobody, no other nominees?
Yeah, the last time. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I faced challengers before. I started back 2007 was my first stint. I did a 4-year term then and took 4 years off and then came back.
Do you get an extra stipend as chairman?
Yeah, you get a little bit more salary.
So obviously you're in it for the money.
Oh, yeah. You got to build up that retirement account. Yeah, keep working at it.
So what do you like about being the chairman? I mean, it's a leadership. Obviously, you enjoy a leadership role.
When I was a kid, my mom always said, be a leader, don't be a follower, you know? And that always kind of resonated and stuck with me. And what I like about this group is my caucus, there's 10 that caucus in our group, and they're just great people. They're friends, and they come from all sorts of different backgrounds, and I just enjoy working with them.
How long you been on the ledge?
This is my 16th year.
16th year.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
The end of my 4th term.
Yeah. And when you speak of caucus, you're talking about the Republicans on the board.
Yep.
And the Republicans have always, wasn't there back in the day?
Oh, no.
Back like in the 80s maybe when Democrats had
More recent than that.
More recently? How recent?
Yeah, 2000 I came on in 2007, and that was the year it was 10-5.
Oh, that's right.
10 Democrats and Sally Brothers and
Right.
Hedra and Pat Turbot and them,
Yep.
and Pete Fitzrandolph. But my first 4-year stint was 10-5 as a minority. So, yeah. I definitely like being in the majority a lot better. I can tell you that.
Well, politics has gotten so bitter on the national level, obviously. State level, although New York is so dominated by Democrats that there's maybe, but has that affected the local level, like the county legislature, or do you still have a collegial relationship with the other side of the aisle?
We have a great relationship. All the members of the Democratic Party I get along well with. So, yeah. And I utilize them where I think their specialty would be. So,
Yep. But are there a lot of 10-5 votes?
That depends. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends what it is. The most recent with the ICE vote, that was kind of a 10 or 11 or 4.
Well, let's talk about that. That meeting was like 3 hours, right?
Oh no, it's more than that. We started at 6 o'clock. I finally got home at 1:30. So I think it was right around midnight, 11:30. I think when the last person.
And it was moved up to the courthouse to accommodate a bigger crowd.
Yeah. We knew it was
there
going
were
to be busy.
there were a lot of speakers. How many?
There were 86 signed up. There were 88 communications that Rebecca had read at the beginning of it, that people that couldn't attend that wanted their voice heard, so we made sure that everyone's voice was heard.
Yeah. Now, in your view, was what was being voted on all that big a deal?
No.
What was it exactly?
It was just to use the jail model to work with ICE to be able to share information. So, pretty simple.
So basically, some jail deputies are being trained.
Yep. By ICE.
But they couldn't do that before.
No, or they weren't doing it before.
Okay.
But now it enables just to work together. So if we have a criminal that comes into the correctional facility, and come to find out he is wanted or not supposed to be here, we will notify ICE, give him a heads up that, he's going to be released after a certain amount of time, and they'll make sure arrangements to pick him up.
Okay, so this doesn't mean your road deputies are going out and teaming up with ICE?
No, we're not going down the streets, and no, we're not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you think, first of all, did this even really require legislative action?
It didn't sound as if it did, but I think the sheriff has been very transparent in what he does, and I have the utmost respect for our sheriff, and I mentioned it that night. I have the utmost respect for him and his department.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you say ICE, and that's like waving
Oh.
a red flag.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and so is that what happened this time?
And the timing. If you look at the timing, it could not have been worse. It was absolutely the worst opportune time to do it. But
What was wrong with the timing?
Minneapolis had started up. That had lit up since then, and I think 2 people have been killed since the original operations vote. So back in January.
So was there a certain group that was eager to pounce on this as an opportunity?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was an opportunity for people that didn't favor the ICE proposal. So, and they pounced without a doubt. That was the most emails that any of us have ever received. And I've always prided myself as I try to get back to everybody. I try to either respond via email or phone call, and we just got inundated. After about the first day, I realized what this was and what this was becoming, and it was just impossible to keep track of.
So what this was becoming, was it, how well coordinated was it?
Very well orchestrated.
Yeah. By whom?
I don't want to throw fingers at, but, it was a movement for sure. So,
whoever it was, what were they hoping to accomplish?
I think it's election time, so it's silly season. That's what I call it. This is silly season. So now we're going to start getting petitions. The Democratic chairman and vice chairperson, they've already put out a request to go after the 11 that voted in support of ICE, and this is the reason to terminate us and send us home.
Yeah, well, was there some soliciting of candidates even that night during the?
Well, I don't know about that night, but there certainly has been since. So. Yeah.
Well, do you think it will succeed to some degree in raising some Democratic candidates?
Oh, absolutely. Sure. Yeah.
But you don't think it threatens your majority?
I strongly doubt it.
Yeah. Did you personally did they say anything to you personally? You're gone or something like that?
Oh, yeah. 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 I noted that at the end of the meeting. Yeah.
What's that?
I made a notation of that at the end of the meeting. And
a notation of what exactly?
I addressed them, that a lot of them threw out the fact that you're all up for re-election this year. We're coming after you. You got to go. And I understand that, but I'm from a strong Republican district, very strong Republican district, as well and my constituents in my district weren't there. It was the majority of the people that attended that meeting. The speakers, I think we had it at, Joe Lightfoot had it at 69%. I had it at about 71% were either from Potsdam or Canton. So those 2 communities came out in full force. Mm-hmm. And then there were some stragglers, a couple from Messina, 1 from Lisbon, and not very many from the other.
Are there any members of your caucus that could be considered vulnerable?
Certainly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some purple districts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, so that conceivably this.
If that's the issue you want to knock someone out on, then have at it. But at the January organizational meeting, I listed our accomplishments that we have done as a board with 15 members, Republican and Democrat, and we have a pretty strong list of accomplishments. So that's what I'm running on.
Okay. All right, let's shift topics. I know you don't have a direct dog in this fight, but Claxton Hepburn, everybody wants good medical care, and I'm sure you as a county leader, as much or more than anybody. Do you have any opinion of what's going on there, or what are your concerns? Or is there anything the county can conceivably have as a role?
I think it's just a support mechanism at this point, and I'd like to applaud Scott Gray and the others that have taken this initiative on. And go back to the ICE. 250, 300 emails we received as a result of the ICE, okay? I got 1 since the inception, first coming of the Claxton. I got 1. Imagine if those 250 people had sent letters to the governor about Claxton Hepburn and potential closure. If we lose our dialysis, if we lose our cancer treatment, if we lose our wound center, what do we got? And my daughter was one of the first to be let go. She's a charge nurse. And then my wife is an employee of Claxton Hepburn as well. So
many, many people have a stake, either that directly or
Absolutely.
needing the health care or the services.
Yeah.
And so what's your best hope for what happens?
Well, apparently, from the sounds of it, it'll go to receivership, and hopefully an entity will come in and want to keep them afloat and invest the money that they need. We did meet, our administrator, myself, and Joe Lightfoot met with some of the staff at Claxton early, maybe a month ago, and they gave us their side of the story, Mr. Duvall and that, and but we never really heard from the state and what their concerns were. So, and I know Scott Gray has been very active with that side. So.
Yeah, well, it's been very much a case of each side blaming the other. The state claiming they haven't been getting what they want, and the hospital people claiming they have provided it. Do you have any opinion?
I have my opinions, but yeah, there's probably more to the story on both sides.
Okay.
I guess would be the.
Is Krause the entity most being discussed?
I've heard them floated. I've heard Samaritan floated. I've heard place out of Rochester floated, Rochester Regional. So, and I heard another entity floated, but I really, I'm not in the know on it.
Okay.
I don't know.
And any thoughts or?
Whoever, just keep the
somebody.
facility going. That's my main concern, because, like I said, we can't lose the dialysis, because people will die. They will literally die if they got to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours to, just a huge exposure.
So is that the best case scenario, that a receiver or someone in some capacity takes it over on a permanent basis? Do you think?
At least to get it going. They sounded, when we talked with management, they sounded like they were so close.
Close to what?
Close to getting to that, whatever the term they used. Lost my
toward receivership or toward supply?
Well,
or the
meaning their critical access, their whatever point they had to be able to charge more and get more benefit, and they just never got there. So it sounds like they had plug pulled on them.
So, it's just wait and see right now what happens.
Yeah, and hopefully it's sooner than later.
All right. Well, this isn't a very sexy topic, but the county's buildings and infrastructure are really important.
Absolutely.
Making everything run efficiently.
Yep,
And do you have any kind of like a building shuffle kind of in the works?
We have a lot of projects. We completed an $8 million public safety building complex last year. We started the court renovation project, $3 million renovation project to add another family court. We've got proposals out to bid for our outpost in Potsdam, housing our maintenance facility for highway department, and moving the administration out there. Social services, we did a $1 million project renovating that facility, the H.B. Smith building. We've got a great buildings and grounds committee. Larry Denisha and the guys do a great job with it, and a lot of the projects are long overdue. With all those buildings, there's a lot of maintenance, and they really took.
So a big one is the plan to vacate the highway building in Canton.
Yep.
So you're going to just uproot and leave to Potsdam?
Yep.
Is that the plan?
Well, as long as it's financially doable.
Yeah. Well, what's that all entail?
Well, about $15 million last I saw. So,
okay.
But
where in Potsdam?
Right out on County Route or State Route 11, right? Just past the DOT building. It's on the right. It's a couple miles right outside Potsdam.
And is the building, is the infrastructure all there?
Yeah, we built our outpost for the highway. We did 3 outposts, I think 3 years ago. We did one in Lisbon, we did one in Russell, and then we did this one in Potsdam. And this one in Potsdam came with I think it had about 40 acres. So we had a footprint large enough to accomplish this. It was kind of in the pipe to do it. So, yeah.
So what becomes of the current property in Canton?
Well, there'll be some cleanup as far as the buildings, and probably take the buildings down and try to put it on the market and see if there's any interest in it.
How big is the footprint there?
I think it's around 3 acres, if I remember.
Is it valuable?
It's not quite big enough for value is whoever needs it, I guess. There's been mention of St. Lawrence University having some interest in it, but I'd like to see it stay on the property tax rolls. So we'll have to see. But that's going to be a ways out.
All right, let's get back to more exciting stuff. politics.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Can't get enough.
NY21, there was a
Yeah.
lot of dramatic twists and turns with Elise Stefanik.
Yep.
All that went on there. Now looks like she's washed her hands of the entire political scene for now, anyway. Do you support anyone for that seat?
I just wish Senator Steck would run. That was who I had hoped for from the origination last year, and that would be who I would support. But
Okay.
as of now, I don't really have any support.
Do you think all the twists and turns and the way this evolved, though, has made that seat in play?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, this is been a strong Republican district for a long time.
Bill Owens had it,
Well, that's
Bill
true.
Owens had it for several years.
Yeah.
So it is possible to flip this district. We got to have the right candidate for sure.
Uh-huh. So you're not going to support your fellow Lisbonite?
Blake?
Yeah.
I like Blake a lot. I wouldn't support him as my congressman, but as a friend, and I played basketball with him at Jackball. So yeah, I've known him for years, but he wouldn't be my first pick. No.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How's the? You've run up some good-sized budget. What do you call it? A budget surplus, or what do you call it? What's the name for it?
Fund balance.
Yeah, fund balance.
Yeah.
What is it these days?
It's right around a little over $70 million.
70. Is that? That's pretty healthy, isn't it?
Yeah.
How does it compare? How does it vary very much year by year?
Well, it doesn't compare well to Jefferson County. They've got a little bit higher. I think they're at $150 million, but
Just about twice. It's about roughly same size county. How come they have twice the surplus you do?
Well, it's always. I drive around Watertown in this area, and I see the development going on, and I don't see that much development going on up our way. That's for one. I think Fort Drum has a big help in this area for sure. But we've been frugal. We've been good stewards. And remember, 12 years ago when I came back to this board, we were $3 million in the hole. So we had no fund balance, and we were giving money to outside agencies that had bigger fund balances than we did. So that was the A team. That first 4 years, that group was the A team. We went after it, and we did everything we had to do to start building up a fund balance. So.
Well, you mentioned industrial development. Anything in the works? I mean, it's tough up here.
It is
for sure.
Absolutely, and the competition's tough. Not just northern states. Northern states compete with southern states. Bigger metropolitan areas compete with us. So it's always a tough one for sure.
Yeah.
And we've got a great IDA. Patrick Kelly does a great job running our IDA, but they're limited on what they can do. It's always been an issue.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we got to wind down here, but one thing I did want to run by you, the 250th anniversary of our nation is coming up.
Yep.
Does the county directly involve itself in any plans to come?
Yeah, I started a committee to look at the 250th anniversary led by historian Jim Reagan and Rita Curran and also Margaret Haggard. And they had an appropriation last month of some money, some funds to go towards it. And I'm looking forward to what they come up with. So,
any ideas what it might be?
No.
Big fireworks, parades?
I'll let you know when I get a little better idea, but it's going to be this summer. But they've been working on it. I appointed them last year, so they've been working on it for a while.
Okay.
But no, we're looking forward to it. So.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss that I didn't touch on?
I'm good.
Okay.
I just like to talk about St. Lawrence County, and I'm proud of what we've accomplished.
Do you want to continue in your role into the foreseeable future?
That maybe not. It's a time-consuming role. I'm getting ready to retire. One of these days, the old Dave's going to
retire from
everything.
You're in the real estate business.
Insurance.
Insurance.
Yeah.
Insurance.
I've been 39 years. March 7th will be 39 years. So my youngest son has come into the office, and he's doing well with it. And my partners, I have two other partners in separate locations, and we're all getting older. So everyone's getting ready to.
So it won't be one of these.
Kind of like John Moore. Kind of like John Moore, right?
What?
Packing it up a little.
I'm not packing it up. I'm
slowing down.
shifting roles and scaling
Shifting
back a
roles
little
and
bit.
scaling
You
back.
say you're going to retire completely.
Oh no, I
oh,
won't.
okay.
No.
So you're going to stay in politics beyond your.
Yeah, I enjoy
Okay.
politics as long as the people want me. If the people don't want me, like this election cycle, if the people don't want me, I'll hear it loud and clear, I'm sure. But I go to my town board meetings often. I try to make everyone, and they're pretty happy with what I do.
So you try to reply to all correspondence. Did you just?
I try, and
the ICE thing. Did you succeed?
No, I gave up. No, there was just no doing it. There was no doing it. And then you got so many from out of the area. And what happened was it was really basically 3 letters. Most of them were AI generated, and they just tweaked them. Everyone tweaked them a little bit, but there were three different letters. So, so I knew what was going on.
Okay, Dave. Thanks for coming down.
John,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you, and good luck to you and your.
We'll see you up
your
in
cutback day.
Lisbon one of these days.
Yes, you will. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day.